All right. Welcome to the Suds to Success first podcast. My name's Andrew. That's Urjan, not
How are
Urkan.
you guys?
Urjan.
Let's go.
And what we wanted to do with this podcast, pretty much make a podcast where we can do business advice, how to make your detailing business profitable, kind of go into what we're about and go through different things. So in this episode, it's all about how to make your business pretty much efficient, successful, make you a lot of money, which is important. A lot of detailers struggle with that. And pretty much making you think like a business owner, because a lot of detailers don't. They kind of work for themselves and they kind of are punching in and out of their business. You want, so you're a business owner. And then we're also going to go over quickly how to paid and free methods of how to gain customers and leads. So if you're looking to gain customers and leads, stick to the end. That's the most important thing. We're going to get you a lot of different ideas, especially in this winter slow time, how to get customers a lot easier. So Urjan, I guess start with who you are, how you started, how we met maybe, and what you do.
So my name is Urjan Hermazu. I started detailing back in 2020. I did it in the driveway, and then I said quickly, I don't want people to show up in my house. So what I kind of started is seen on YouTube actually is like mobile detailers. So people would go over to people's houses and stuff and detail their cars, and I was like, well, we're in a pretty small city, right? So I was like, that would be a good idea. So um, I did my dad's car, and then I reached out to my brother's friend's car who had a BMW 3 Series, I think it was, something like that, 350, 335, something like that. So detailed it, posted it, and then first summer, brother, I got maybe 2 details. I charged $30 maybe for like the most destructed car. And then that was it. I was like, you know what? I still can't give up on this. This is right around the time I was going to college too. So just graduated grade 12, going into the first year of college. And I was like, you know what? I'll just go to college, I'll do my thing. And then went to college right around the winter time, which funny enough, I started getting calls. Hey, are you still detailing? And I'm like, detailing? It's freaking negative like 30 at the time. They're like, yeah, well, I need my car. And I was like, okay, well, like, do you have a garage? 2 of them maybe said yes. So I went to their garage, brought all my chemical guys and my soap and soap and water. I just did interior only because most garages around the city don't have drains. So did the interiors, probably beat them up more than it was already. And then I learned about Detail Group. He's for those of you who don't know, he has based kind of what we're trying to do, but in a better way, I think, if you could say, because we're focusing more on software, where he has great business advice, and we're trying to focus more on software and how to actually implement those softwares so you don't have to work as hard. Now, I know he does a little bit of that with like the things he advertises and stuff, but honestly, what Andrew has shown me is crazy. And then, sorry, I got off track. Maybe I want
That'll
to say
happen.
my second year. My second year, I did maybe 30 cars. The third year, which is the third year leading into me getting a shop, that is when I don't even know how many cars I did a day. It was crazy. Honestly, it was amazing. And then the summertime ended, and I was looking for shops, and I was looking for shops all the way through, but looking for shops, and I could not find anything. And then thankfully I found one, whatever, reached out to Andrew. I said, hey, I'm getting a shop. Do you have advice? Do you have anything that you think I should do differently? Blah, blah, blah. So he's like, you know what? Come over, meet with me and another detailer in the city, and met him. And honestly, it's just been going up from there. Andrew's been helping me put business first over than detailing, which honestly has helped me tremendously. So yeah. What about you? What's your
All
little
right.
backstory? I know you got a fun one.
Okay. So it's a long story. I'll try and condense it. So kind of started, I did sales and woodworking, had a woodworking business before this. That's kind of what I did before. And then I started to learn, I bought a new car, started to learn like how to detail. I kind of wanted to keep my car as clean as you could. So I want to learn about protection, same type of thing. Got all the chemical guys stuff that you could get. And it was just my car. So I just kind of started and I started washing 3 times a week. It was crazy. I got a little obsessed with it, and then I ended up reaching out to another detailer in Tecumseh, Ontario. So we're in Windsor, Ontario, if we didn't say that, in Canada. Reached out to him, said, I want to pay for your time. Can you teach me whatever? Open arms, taught me. And this is where like a few people, like they see what I built now. I have a 3,000 square foot shop. I have employees.
Huge.
We still going to be bigger. We do probably the most ceramic coating in our area, which is
It's a
kind of cool.
factory, ceramic factory.
Yeah, it's kind of cool what we've been able to build there. But what it was able to let me do was, like, what people don't think is back then is I reached out to him. I pretty much learned. I paid for my his time to learn, and then I pretty much worked for free for him for a year.
Damn.
So I was working 40 hours, and my days off, I'd go work with him, or at night, and like I was working. That's how much I loved it, and that's kind of where, it's kind of where I get. So in that moment, like I'm just trying, and people are like, "You want to wash cars for a living? Like, what the hell is wrong with you?" Like they looked at me like I was nuts.
Yeah.
And I probably was. And then I started working for free. The amount of people that looked at me and is like, "Why are you working for this guy for free? He's like so taking advantage of you." That will do a few things. Do I recommend that to everybody? You have to find the right people to do that.
No,
But
100%.
what it does is like a few things. You're not liable for anything because he's pretty much taking the liability for you learning. You are learning a skill for free. The other thing is I'm still good friends with him today. So I can call him at any time, and not that he feels like he owes me, but there is a part of that where I worked for him for free for a year.
Yeah.
So like there was a lot that we did then. And it kind of gives you that experience that you learned. Like I don't like it. It's a great relationship, and you can kind of be friends. That's something else we're gonna kind of preach here, because me and Erjan do that. Is we're not really in competition. Like we send more work to each other than anything. So like we have
odor removals around here. That's what Andrew tells all the customers.
Yeah, so we don't like doing smoke removals, so it's not for us. So I just tell them that, oh, this guy is the king of removals or odor removals, and they go to him. And that's the point, though, is he'd rather do that. So if it's not my customer, I don't want to do that. So that's what we're going to kind of preach here is competition doesn't make sense. Like most people, if you're friends with everybody, and you don't have to be telling everybody your deep darkest secrets and what you're doing, whatever. Like there's some of that, but there's also like when you're not in competition, when you're in like
unity.
Yeah, when you're in that type of mindset, you're gonna win. Like winter time for us is slower. So, like for example, Dean, the detailer I'm talking about, that's my mentor, and Erjan knows as well. We're slower.
Shout out to Dean.
Guy calls me 2 days ago. I have this truck. I'm working on it. Won't fit in my shop. Will you do it? I'll give you half of it to ceramic coat it. Obviously, like why wouldn't I do that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But when you're in that type of mindset of helping each other and whatever, that makes sense. So we worked with him. Then I started doing mobile. I did, I think, 3 mobile jobs. I said, no, I don't want to do this. This is terrible.
He passed out, guys. He passed out in a freaking car.
That was when I wasn't even mobile.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have.
So then I moved into a family member's garage behind their house, 2.5 car garage. And it was, I think, springtime. It was COVID. So like everything was on lockdown. So I was super scared that I was going to get shut down, right? Like, so we had rules, but like they were kind of like you're allowed to disinfect things, but you're not allowed to like wax things. And it was kind of like loosely like, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm disinfecting cars is how I'm cleaning cars. So then it's kind of picked off. How I started was I had a business coach too, a life coach. And the first thing he told me was message 50 people, tell them you're detailing, and see if any of them will go like use you. Out of the 50, I think I had 7 people reach back to me and say, yes, I want you to detail my car. I had no idea what I was doing. I'm going to go crazy if I hear that vibrating all hour.
Sorry.
But anyway, episode 1, guys, we're getting it down. But
we're going to be professional soon.
By episode 10.
Yeah,
but
maybe 11.
Yeah. So I reached out to 50 people, and I pretty much just said, like, I'm detailing whatever. And these were his friends, family, like everything. And I think 7 of them, I detailed 7 of their cars. I knew nothing. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to figure it out. But what that does is they already believe in you before they know anything about your business. They're
Yeah.
literally just saying, I know you. And then, yeah, they're pretty much just believing in you, which is interesting. So then went to my aunt's house. I was detailing there for about 2 years. In the middle of that, and then in the beginning, I kind of fell into the trap that I think a lot of people fall into of I need to work all the time to be as successful as I can be. So I was working like my first ceramic company. I was taking 4 days to ceramic coat cars because that's how it was back then. But it was a 2-layer system. It had to be done like 12 hours after, so it would take multiple days, 3 to 4 days. It was terrible, and I was not meant to do that the easy way in the beginning, I don't think, because now I am so grateful for the products we use now. And it's not that I'm preaching a certain brand or bashing a brand, but it makes you very thankful that we can do it in 4 to 5 hours. And that's not by cutting corners, guys. That's by being efficient and by using the right tools. And you can do that too. So like that's a thing where you can do that. So yeah, it would take 4 days. I was working like there were days where I'd start at like 7 in the morning. I'd go home at 2, 3, and like
Yeah.
I'd be And there's a
Yeah.
lot of that. And then I had one moment where it really flipped the light switch. I was still in coaching then, and in like life coaching then, where I was working through a lot of personal things and business stuff. And I was working on an Escalade. It was a red Escalade. I think it's not on my site anymore, but it was. I had it up there. I had it up there for a reason to remind myself because no one else knows what it was. I think it's on my Facebook. But anyway, it was like a red Escalade. I was in the middle of working on it, passed out right in the middle of the thing. I was in the back of it. I was by myself. I didn't have employees then. So I was like, so I worked from 9 to about 2 in the morning, like 3 days in a row. So I was working like that type of stretch for a while. And because I was so busy and I wasn't even making that much money back then, but like I was just, yeah. And it was a hot day. Didn't have AC yet. Don't forget about that. Didn't have AC, so I'm just sweating like crazy, bro. And I'm working, and I, like literally, like in my brain, I'm like, I need to work this hard to like make it.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. And then I passed out, and I remember like I woke up. I'm like, I don't feel good. Like I literally, that was the only car ever I had to call the customer in the middle of it. So I have to stop.
Damn.
Like
Yeah.
and you know how awful you feel doing that? I think I
Oh.
detailed it for free. I don't think I even charged them. They came back. I'm like, please come back. Maybe I waxed it for free or something back then. And it was like a paste wax I used to use back then, bro. Like it would take 3 hours, yeah, just to wax the thing.
No, I
So
know.
yeah, so it was awful. And so yeah, I did that. I experienced that. And then next week it was a heat wave. I paid like $1,500 for a window air conditioner, and I had no money back then. Like it wasn't like now. Not that I have money now, but it wasn't like that was like a lot for me to spend that much back in the day. So I got this AC unit in. I had to like wire it all up so it would work, and yeah, so I got the AC unit in. After that, I thought I was top of the world. I'm like, oh, I got AC now, man.
It's kind of like
Whatever.
me when I had it in my shop.
Yeah, but you experience that. I'll never detail without AC again, ever. Because once you have it, you're like, oh, I like it's so comfortable. You're not anxious. You're not stressed out. Your body just feels better. At the end of the day, it's so much easier. And like for those who don't know, and there's hotter places than us, we're very humid here. So like we'll have summer days where it feels like 130 Fahrenheit, like with 99% humidity. So
Even
like
when I used to do mobile, I'd probably spent more time wiping my sweat off of their leather seats and their console and their steering wheel than anything else. Swear to God. And I sweat.
yeah.
I don't.
And
I'm not a light sweater.
But that's one thing where like I'm excited for this podcast because like we've done it. Like there's not like, and I tell my story because it's one of those things where people see what I have now. They're like, oh, this is like whatever big shop in the city. They're doing tons of ceramic. Oh, he's lucky. He made it. Whatever.
You look like an overnight success, bro.
Oh God, I wish that was the case, man.
Thanks, two of us.
And but yeah, so I did that. Hired employees along the way, and then now we're on a pretty busy street, one of the busiest ceramic coating shops. And then what else kind of built from that is I've done coaching with Ivan LaCroix, which is obviously everyone knows that. I was watching the podcast.
Man himself.
Yeah, and that made a big difference. Is it made me very efficient. It's made me very focused on what are we making per hour, what products we're using, what's the cost of this. How can we make this better? How can we make this quicker? What are SOPs? Tons of different things that we can go over in this podcast. But what that did was it really turned me into a business owner. And that was the first thing that he preached to me is he goes, I want to make you a business owner. I don't want you, or I want to make you an entrepreneur. I don't want you to be an operator. I don't want to be in the business. And that's something where this year made a big difference. I get so mad, bro, when I've touched cars. Like,
Yeah, I know
it
you
sounds
told me.
bad. It's so, like, it's not even, that sounds very, like, for someone's a detail, like, oh, you can't detail a car. Obviously, I can detail a car. The point is, though, is it's very rewarding to get out of that. So I pulled myself out of the business. I have 2 great employees, about to be 3. They are fantastic. And we'll go over how to take care of employees in another episode because I think that's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
They're both fantastic. They're both self-sufficient. They're both efficient. They're treated very well. And that gives you good results. But what that did, when I pulled myself out of the business, I'm very good at selling. I'm very good at building systems. Like, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Zapier. We'll talk about Urable. We'll talk about tons of different things. And I'm good at that. So I really dove into how can I make sales processes for my business. There's detailers in the city that are good at detailing. That's what most of them are. They're good at detailing. You call them, right, but you call them up and they're like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. That's $1,000 for a coating click. Then you never hear from them again.
Yeah.
Versus me, you call me, you talk to me for about probably 10 minutes, whatever, however long you want. We go over everything. You then get a quote sent in your able. You then get follow-up from me, and you get a text message from me and an email. A few days later, I reach out again, and then again and again. And then you kind of can build onto that. Yeah. But that's the main thing, is building systems that make your life easier and kind of give you makes it easier. So something I want to get into, I don't want to just plug Urable, but we both use Urable and we're both spoiled by Urable. I got you to use Urable.
Brother, I love that thing. If honest, I the biggest issue I ever had as a growing detailer or business owner or whatever you want to call it was I'd get people. I'd be on the way to one customer's house. The other one would text me 5 minutes out from the customer I'm going to. Hey, are you still coming today? You're late. I'm like, oh shit. And then it's a matter of, oh, okay, like I gotta do something. I gotta fucking lie. Oh, I just cussed. That is the timestamp. 17, 20. So
beep it out, but keep that part in there.
I will. So it's one of those things where organization, I think the biggest thing, especially for your able, is one, it texts the customer 24 hours before, and you can obviously change it to whatever you like, and then it texts them whatever it does before or after, and then that basically eliminates no-shows and excuses. You know, Andrew and I talk about this all the time. Especially winter here, I've had a nightmare of a winter, which I'm blessed for because we can do things like this and expand beyond detailing. We can help other people, and that's our mission. We always wanted to help people. I always ask them, like, who can we, if someone asks us a question, is it detailing in our city? If I don't know the answer, I'm calling Andrew. If Andrew doesn't know the answer, he's calling his people. And it's one of those things where, like he was saying, is becoming competition. It's not even a thing in here. We know all the detailers in Windsor, right? We know all of them in the counties and stuff. We have great bonds. It's not a competition. We have let's say a population of 300,000 people. Not one shop, is whatever it is.
Probably more, but yeah,
way more now for sure. With all the people coming out from the north. There's too many people. Like, there's too many cars. Everybody's got at least 2 cars to a house nowadays. It's like, how does one shop, no matter if you had 100 employees, they're not gonna all take care of it. So you kind of gotta, we even if we don't want to do something, like, Andrew says, fix it jobs. If we don't want to do it, we send it somewhere else. And it's just like, we don't tell the people, if the customer says it, that's on them. But you're able, the organization's the biggest thing. The reviews, my reviews plummeted 24 hours after. It always messages them. I keep it keeps track of all the customers.
Now, so let me just pop in right for a second. So if you don't know what your able is, because we're just going down the rabbit hole on your able here for a second.
Oh, I love this thing too much. I have to talk about it.
What it is it's a CRM that's going to make your detailing business a lot better and make it so it automates a lot of stuff. So all your scheduling's in there, your payments are in there, everything's in there. So you can kind of record everything. So if you don't know what it is, you need your Able. It's cheap. It might be $100 a month or something like close to that.
135 for the pro plan.
Nothing. It's
It's
peanuts.
half a detail.
It's not even. You'll make that in tips. Like if you start taking tips, you'll make it in tips, and trust me, you will never look back to paying them that amount of money. You will thank them to pay them that.
Yeah,
and then
no, honestly, it's honestly helped me so much. It's the organization, the payments, the invoicing, the customer, keeping customer info, how much you spent, any quotes that are going out. Before it was mumbo jumbo, me texting some guy, hey, yeah, it might be $300 for this interior, and then I never hear from him again. I don't know what his phone number is, and there's another one. 2042.
You get real wound up about your past, eh?
Yeah. So you learn from your mistakes, right? So you're able, honestly, anytime we've ever had an issue, we email them within, or even Facebook message them within
Anything.
24 hours. Solved.
Not even within 10 minutes.
Yeah,
they are
solved.
They are, and I'm a little different. Like when I started my business, I did Square appointments for a while. I think I did that for maybe my first month.
Me was all trying to remember with how my memory is.
I knew I couldn't do that, so I started with Square appointments, and it wasn't great. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't easy. And then I think it was 2020 or 2019 when I got your Able. They were just starting out. So I saw them in a Facebook group. I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll try it. 3-day trial. And I just Facebook messaged the owner. Like back in the day, Michael, who's the father of the family, who like kind of started it with his kids. I just messaged him, and he was more like in the day-to-day. Now he's kind of they have more employees, so it's I don't want to bother him. But back in the day, it was just him. Like he was preaching it in Facebook groups, like this is the vision and whatever. I'm like, I like this, so then I got it. And so I don't really know like running a business without that. And when I first got it, I was paying like $100. I always had the pro plan. I never did anything else. I might have had like my lowest. I might have done like 5 details in the month. Like we talk about like adding like CRMs to our like payments, whatever. And Erjan, me and him will argue all the time. It's like, that's expensive. Dude, there was so many times where I'm spending $1,000 on different software in total, and I'm making nothing. Like it's literally like back in the day, I had your Able. Now I have other stuff. I mean, I have like a detailer roadmap website. I have I use Go High Level. I have tons of different things that we're running in the back end. I'm using stuff for my social media manager. I have captions. I have everything. I'm very into tech, so it's very cost heavy. Like it's obviously we pay for it. Now that being said, does it save me money or make me money?
Makes
all day long. So but me and Erjan talk about that all the time, is like because he'll say, oh, it's so much money, like I don't know if I can pay for it.
I'm very picky with what I use in terms of I need to know, okay, I need time to allocate to it, right? You're Able, I started actually it's been literally a year. Almost. Yeah. I think 1st of February is when I got it. Honestly, it took me maybe 3 months to figure out all the features. Like, and some I still don't use 90% of them. And
I know.
It's honestly crazy.
I just started and this turning totally into a Your Able podcast, wasn't supposed to, but we'll keep going for a little bit.
We need to get Your Able banner on the bottom. Oh, for everybody who's wondering, that's actually Andrew's house. All those cars he has exported to Dubai. You can tell how big of a factory he's running around here.
Yeah. I just started with Your Able as tracking our inventory. Yeah. I never tracked my product inventory before. And obviously I have employees, so like that's important. And we had a time where I always like to have a lot of stuff on hand. Like I don't like have ever a time where I'm like, oh, I have half a coating bottle left and I have 2 cars. Hopefully we can make it work. I don't like doing that. So I really thought, and I would just kind of look at the shelf and kind of be like, oh, I need to order this. And I had missed stuff and whatever, and it didn't work. And I remember my employee Taylor, which you'll hear about her, Nick, a lot. She looked at me, she goes, like, why are we doing this? And like and hiring a female was one of the best things I ever did. And a lot of people don't. And I'll tell you why it was the best thing I ever did. She thinks about things differently than I do. Like she's very much, they're very, and not just females, but I mean, she in general is very analytical, very visual. So like I can look at something like I'm trying my best, and like I'll get frustrated, right? And she'll just look at me. She's like, "You're so stupid. Like get it together." And you're laughing, so you can hear her say it. But she'll like look and be like, "Just like do this. Like why are we doing it like this?" And like it takes someone like that, and both of them do it. Nick does it in different ways to me. And he looks and he goes, "Why do we do things this way?" And like you look and it's like, "Why are we doing things this way? I don't know why." And you just change it.
It's like when you tell me to do something, I'm like, oh
right.
yeah, man.
It's important to have people that hold you accountable because like for whatever reason, I remember when I first started, so I was mobile and I had sustainers, which are like pretty much like have you ever seen the Milwaukee like pack out boxes?
Yeah.
It's like they all kind of stack up.
Yeah.
But they're European.
The things you have.
The boxes,
yeah.
So the European. So like I'd bring home my coatings every day. I worked in a garage, but I put it all because I was used to doing it mobile. I'd bring it home every day. And my employee looked at me, he's like, "Why do you do that?" I'm like, "I don't know why I do that. I just always have." You get into a habit, right? But you laugh, but you get into a habit, and that's it. So that's kind of just
the way you took all your coatings home.
I did because I was so scared. They were so expensive. And I didn't have AC back then. So like literally so I was scared like they might get too hot. Like I don't know. And like back in the day, like for me to spend, I had $1,000 in coatings in this container. I was scared. I'm like, this is all the money I got. It's in this box. And I'm just hoping someone calls for me to coat their car. But, yeah, and it wasn't like the brand I was with the Forge. I'm not going to name one here, but it was just everything was expensive. It took forever. It was terrible. I'd have to put the rim coating in the freezer so I could take it off the rim. Oh, did I not tell you that?
No.
The first, I didn't have AC, so I'd get all these stupid cars that I'd need to coat them, and it was a Mustang. I had 3 Mustangs in a row. So I'm coating those really thin rims that have all the spokes, and they're matte black or whatever, like satin black, so you see everything.
Yeah.
So I'm coating it, and I put it on, and I didn't have AC then, so it was humid, like 80% humidity.
Yeah.
So I'd coat them at night because it's a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
I would hope it wasn't. And I put it on. I do a core of the rim, turned it white. It just streaked up and went white. And I'm like, what? I literally called. I was so distressed and stressed out. I had another installer that I talked to in Milwaukee, I think. But I had a guy helping me that was just messaging on Facebook. I'm like, what is this? He's like, you gotta use a wet towel, put it in the freezer, whatever. So every 30 minutes, I'd have to put the coating back in the freezer, let it get cold, get it out, put it on the rim real quick, put it back in the freezer, level it with a wet towel to reactivate the coating, and then level it.
Wow. I'm grateful for what we use now.
Yeah, you're spoiled. When I literally now, like you'd have nothing. If I still had that brand, I'm not even going to tell you who it is. I'm not going to let you buy it. If I still had it, you would cry.
I probably would run away from coatings.
You would. And I remember it would take me 3 days. And like there was times where I'm not making any money. Like it'd be a few $1,000s, but I'm still not making any money. And that's where that's when I started with Ivan, where I'm like, how do I make money? Because I'm not.
I think the quality of a customer is the biggest thing.
We talk about this all day.
The quality of a customer. Now we were supposed to talk about paid and free methods of how to gain customers, because all we're going to be about is, adding softwares and methods and tips and tricks. But at the end of the day, you do need some action in your business. You can't just hop on here and have nobody come to you or call you and then expect us to get you those calls. So for me, what I think for free really quickly, Facebook groups, Google My Business is easy. Even if you're not registered, some people like to say, "Oh, it's risky," whatever. Just do it. I did it. Don't even think about it. And then giveaways. I think giveaways, especially on like Instagram, where you can send it to all your friends, that is the biggest thing, because at the end of the day, if you get 100 people coming to your page, and maybe 3 of them were like, "Well, I was already thinking about getting detail, and this guy's giving it away. Let me shoot him one. Let me do the giveaway things." And then if they win, they win. If they don't, they probably book after. I had 4 people, the first giveaway I ever did, 4 people book right after. They said, "Yeah, I entered the giveaway, so I have to wait a little bit." And for me, I put my first giveaway as a week. I freaking waited.
I did 2 weeks.
Seriously? Nah, I
I
couldn't
gave
wait.
I gave away a Yeti cup. It was like a Yeti tumbler, and I went from 200 people on my Facebook page to 3,000.
Holy.
The thing that sounds great, right? You're like, oh, I have 3,000 likes now,
Bots.
but no, they're not bots. They're real. But the
They're real.
problem that you run into is they're not people that are interacting with your business.
No.
So like it doesn't help you.
No.
You can do giveaways for services 100%, but in terms of, that's a great idea, create buzz, create whatever. What I like to do is give away product,
Now, yeah.
because now, yeah, you learn, because when you give away a service, detail, whatever, it's going to be the worst car you've ever seen in your life. The customer is not going to value it because he got it for free or she got it for free. And it could be a problematic customer because it's something where, like, I've given away tons of things and they'll call you, like, you'll get like charities or raffles or, silent auctions that want you to do something. And I used to just give away a wash and wax package. And what I realized, because the wash and wax package takes about 30 minutes if you're doing it. And we'll go over kind of techniques. We used a DIY detail for that. So literally wash with rinseless, clay it with their their towel, the other clay towel. And then we use ceramic gloss, like the lubricant. So if you haven't seen that, go look at that on their channel. But 30 minutes, it's a quick service. It makes someone come to you and whatever. All of them, I did 3 in a row. So I did all these different, like a golf tournament. I think for the Cancer Society, did one and something else. First guy got really sick and just didn't pick up the car. I'm like, what? Like, I had to literally, this is like when I started and I didn't have like a key box. I just left the keys in the cup holders. Like, just leave it. It's fine. I'm like,
I've done that.
I hate that feeling because I'm liable if I get stolen. Like, I don't
I
like
was
that.
so stressed.
The difference though is it was in front of a house, so like it wasn't like in a commercial process. Like, it was less likely, and it's a nice neighborhood that I was detailing in then. Second guy complained there was like paint on his rim and complained that I didn't get the orange paint off.
Yeah, all right, buddy.
Right, but like that's the type of third person was a manual car. I pulled the parking brake and almost rolled right into the street.
Oh,
that's another lesson, that leave it in first gear. Don't trust the parking brake in any car. And the clear was peeling off of it.
so yeah, imagine cleaning that.
Oh, it was you can't. It was a black old, I think it was an old BMW if I remember. But like I literally, and I got out of the car, I was like, I think like doing this to like the outside, and the car just started rolling in the street. So I like literally opened the door, I pressed the brake pedal with my hand and put it in the gear so it would stop.
Holy.
I look and I stood there. I'm like, I am done doing these giveaways, because if I literally were to cause an accident because of a job I did for free for charity, I'd be so mad.
Your insurance premium raises up because you did something for free.
I'd be so mad. I'm like, none of this is working. So now, like, I stopped with all the charity stuff for a while. Now, what I do is Urjan knows something that we do as a group of detailers here is we kind of combined all of our orders together. We use the same type of products, or very similar. And what that does, it gives us better buying power. So when I go to our distributor and I say, okay, my business, let's say we used to spend X amount of dollars. Let's say, I don't know, $5,000 a year, let's say, in product, whatever it is. I say, okay, I have whatever. I don't tell them I have 5 detailers, but I just say, okay, now we're spending 40 or whatever the number is, right? So we'll get a better discount, all of us, and we're saving shipping because we're combining all of our orders together. What that does is it gets all the products the same. So you're getting a discount on products off retail. And then when the customer comes, or when the email comes, or a customer says, can you donate to this cause? I say, yes. I'm going to say, if the wash pail has our logo on it, I'm going to get you a grit guard. I'm going to put whatever rinseless or soap in there. I'm going to put a mitt. I'm going to put a towel. And then you give it to them. I put a little piece of paper in there that says, hi, this is who we are. If you need any detailing help or ceramic coating help, call this phone number, whatever. Give it to them.
You're extra nice. I just give them $100 gift card. I don't have any service that's $100, so they're always getting everything.
But this is the thing, and this is the difference. Every time they wash their car, even if they use it to put dirt in, our logo's on that pail. Yeah. So every time, the logo's all over the place, right? So the stickers, we started doing that this year because Taylor, another reason, Taylor's like, why are we giving people buckets with other people's logos on them? It was a brand. I was getting
things like that.
yeah, and it was a brand, and she goes, why are we doing that? It doesn't make any sense. I'm like, yeah, why? The stickers cost $1, $2 each.
Yeah.
Like it costs nothing. It's like, okay. So like the whole kit you're giving them, let's say it's $50. You write it off. It's a tax write-off. It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
But then
We love those.
they'll use it, but they'll either buy products from us later, or they'll call me and say, listen, like I did a terrible job washing my car. What can I do for that?
Yeah.
And then whatever.
Yeah.
And another free way to get people in the winter is we have a referral program. You did too. And it's something where it's a great tool. And this is why I say it's a great tool. For us, how we do it, we set up a form in Zapier. It goes to a spreadsheet. Whenever a new customer is made and you're able, have another Zap that will check and see if that any names are matching that customer. If it is, it lets us know it's a referral. There's tons of different ways to do this. Your Able has a system. You can do it yourself. You don't have to be fancy. But what the referral program does is if someone sends somebody, we give them the option. You can either get a gift card for us or a gift card for a bunch of vendors. And there's tons of different online gift card services. We use GiftBit. That's what we use. But there's tons of online services that you can do. And it'll be like Amazon, Home Depot, Walmart, like all these different places. The benefit of giving people the option of not having to come back to me is if they're referring us to people, they already like us. So that's not, they're referring us for a reason. Yeah. You are now technically hiring a bunch of salespeople that you are not paying a lot to. So it's important. So like I have a customer, this is one of the best things, my referral program. I have a customer that got his truck ceramic coated, top line package, to 7-year on the outside, did the rims, did the glass, coated the interior, 5-year warranted coating. I said, great. And then emailed them and texted him and said, we have a referral program after, and like asked for a review, and then said, we have a referral program. So if you want to make, some money, you're helping us out, we'll gladly pay you. And then we put a little card in their car, says thank you. And then on the back, it says, have any friends that need our services? This is our referral program. It's a website page. What that does is now his buddy that he works with 2 weeks later goes, hey, my friend just got this service done on his truck. I'm buying the same truck. I want the same thing done. I'm like, the same thing. Yeah, everything he got.
Okay.
Oh, okay. A few $1,000s. I'm like, yeah, no problem.
Bring it in tomorrow.
Yeah, I said, do you have any questions? No, he told me everything.
Yeah, those are honestly the best. It's usually when the good customers refer other customers, they're usually good customers.
They're the same. Yeah, and that's what you kind of got to focus on. So like that's what the referral program kind of does. Is it my most popular way? No, but it's great for those few times where you're slow and then you just get this like literally fly ball that comes out of the sky and just lands in your lap. And it's like, oh, that's great. Yeah. It's like, oh, then you pay the customer whatever, $50 or whatever it is. And you're like so thankful to pay them. And you're like, oh, this is great. Yeah. Like whatever. But yeah, and then some people like the idea of that. They like the idea of getting paid for it. So we're thankful for them to do that. In terms of other free things, you do car shows. I'm never a fan of car shows. It's not been for me.
I've always been against them because if you're going to a car show, 99% of the people at the car show take care of their own car.
Right. So there's a few ways you can look at. Some people will sell them coatings. Some of them aren't doing coatings. I'm not bashing car shows. It's just not been something
I've been to a lot. I wear my shirt. If someone asks me, you do detailing? Yeah, I do detailing. I'll give them a card. 99 nobody's ever called me from a car show. I had one guy call me about a coating. I told him in 1 year what the price was, which for a 1 year is pretty cheap. He goes, oh, I can't afford that. It's like, brother, you drive like a $70,000 car. You can't afford like $350. Like, he goes, I mean, it is what it is, right? It's all relative. I don't, judge the guy just because he's driving a $70,000 car. But it's just like I've never gotten anything good out of car shows.
No, it all depends. I know people that do. Like, let's say Dean. Dean's the king of car shows. That guy goes in there and you'll just watch him. He has all these cars end up at his shop the next week
because everybody knows him. He's the man of Windsor.
He is
all of our classic cars we send over right to him.
Yeah, but it's also because that's what he's known for doing. Yeah. So, like for example, and this is why competition doesn't mean anything. It's because my identity for my business is different than Urjan's. It's different from Dean's. It's different from everybody. It's just different. The type of cars we work on, Urjan be like, how do you work on so many kind of these cars? Like, I have no idea.
Subarus all the time. Andrew, what do you got today? Subaru. I'm like, bro, where? Like,
I don't know.
I think I've done maybe 2 Subarus.
I don't know why. They just come to us. And it's also, we do a lot of everything. A lot of high end cars. We do everything. But it's, and yeah, that's just the identity that we've built. And the reason why it's built like that is people bring what you post.
Yeah.
That's another
the
free
biggest thing I
way.
learned.
If you're posting a bunch of minivans, you're gonna get minivans all the time.
I used to post only disaster details, before and afters. When I stopped posting before and afters, and only the afters and only nice cars, that's only when I started getting nice cars that are already clean. So it's like doing half the amount of work, getting a better customer. I honestly, talking to the customer is literally like, holy, this guy's like a friend. Whereas some people, they come in with their really dirty cars. And this is no offense, a lot of people, most people are nice, but in Windsor, if you were from Windsor, you would know the people with dirty cars were always the ones who were a-holes. It's not dirty. You're over exaggerating it. Like, you're charging way too much. It's like, well, you should have taken care of your car. And some people believe that, 2002 F-150, been on the farm since brand new, never been touched before, never even, not even an air compressor or leaf blowers have seen that car. And they're like, yeah, all right, here you go, $250. I'm like, well, it's going to be a lot more than that, and I don't think it's going to be perfect. Well, what are you doing here then? Okay, I don't want that as a customer. I say, oh, go here.
No, and it's a big thing. Is I call it almost like qualifying your customer to work for you or work with you is the right way, because some people, they're not meant to be your customer, and that's okay. Like, it's like, let's say like the Keg. If someone's going to the Keg and they want to get a hamburger from McDonald's, we don't sell that. Like, that's not what we do. I don't do a quick car wash.
No.
Like, it's not something, that's just not what we do. I'll gladly send you somewhere else. I just say, now, because I have employees, you can kind of blame it on them. I say, they're too particular. I go, they won't know what to do with a car wash. Like, obviously they do, but I mean,
I always tell them it's just, if I'm going to do a quick car wash and you come back and complain, I'm just never going to do a car wash again. So I just don't do it from the get-go. If you're either going to do the whole entire thing, this is how I run my business now, is I'm either all in or I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
It's either a full detail. I'm not doing one seat. I used to drive when I was mobile. I swear to God, I drove from my house all the way to Kingsville, which is like 30 minutes roughly from my house, to do 2 seats. And I charged the guy $40. I think I spent that.
You'll never do that again.
I'm like, wow, I'm stupid. And people will call me, oh, can you get like paint removal? I'll do, but I'll kind of put it with a wash. Like, you kind of have to purchase a wash, and I'll discount the wash because I'm not trying to force them to spend more money than they have to. But it's like, someone comes to me with, oh, can you clean the inside of my glass? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not doing that. Like, I don't have time for this. I'd rather do the $300 job or the $8,000 job, that's whatever it might be, in the shop, rather than do your windshield and then you get mad that there's one streak at the top right corner. Like, I'm not doing that. And it takes out headaches, it takes out stress, it takes out those people who kind of, we use you once and they just get the hell out of there. For me, the biggest thing I've noticed over the last year, ever since I started talking with Andrew, is a lot of repeat customers. My first few years, never had repeats. Maybe, I think I had one guy with 3 cars. It was a Camaro, Ford Explorer, and his Toyota Camry. Beautiful guy, beautiful cars, nice cars, super clean. It was just the Ford Explorer always took me too long. And I told him one day, I said, hey, listen, like, I need to charge you more for this car. Okay, no problem. Here's $100 extra. I'm like, oh, I was just gonna charge you like $20 more. Okay. I was like, I didn't mean it like that. He's like, nope. He's like, I was gonna already tip you this much. I was like, okay. And he was the only repeating customer I had every summer. Every spring I went to go do his cars. Now that I'm not mobile, I lost him, but it's fine. I'd rather lose customer and gain 10 other great ones.
Something that we talked about right when you moved to your shop was raising your prices right away. I'm like, instantly when you move, like, even when we moved to our shop now, we're in a house now we had prices we didn't raise, and like this year we have to. And it it's one of those things where it's a time where you can and you should, because like, let's say my expenses quadrupled overnight moving.
Yeah.
So I didn't raise prices for a year and a half. And the reason why was we need the business, obviously. And, we got to build the dream.
Yeah, of course.
But now it's like we need to, everything's gone up. I have to raise my prices.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did referral program, giveaways, pretty much picking your customers and kind of the whatever. The other thing that's very important people don't do is retargeting existing customers. And that's kind of a segue off what Erjan said, is email newsletters. And you struggle with this. I know you're not doing them every month like you should.
I should be, but not every month. But honestly, every time I do, I at least get 3 jobs out of it.
So this is everybody's fear, is we're obviously younger. I don't open email newsletters. It's not for me. This is how I build my email newsletter. This is where people screw up, because I have a bunch of email newsletters. I'm on a bunch of detailers that were friends. They'll ask for my opinion. I also do like consulting for shops. So like I'll build stuff for them, like in terms of like Zapier and a bunch of stuff. But I'll do consulting. So I'll kind of like help them build their business, and then they make money. Obviously it makes them happy, and then I get paid. But so I'm in all their email newsletters. The number one thing people screw up on their email newsletters is they're selling every single time they send something. Stop selling things. Literally provide education. My business is built on making videos, and we'll talk about that. That's the next one. I'll try and do it quick, so I don't want to go over an hour. But making videos and educating. That's all my business is. It's not selling. I mean, we'll do some selling, but it's more so education heavy. And the email is literally, I'll give you my breakdown. First thing, quick tip. What's a tip you can give them? And I'd like to do video, because when they see you, they feel a personal connection. And when, I don't know if you've ever been with me, like out in public, but like there's so many times where I go to places, it's like, hey, Andrew, how's it going? No idea who it is. Yeah, write that down too.
Oh, yeah.
You are on a roll today. But yeah, you're right. But yeah, it's like, or I'll go into places. I'll go into, like, I went into a dealership a few days ago, never met the guy, service manager, went in with Dean, shook his hand. He goes, I know you do those videos. I'm like, yeah, I do. Thanks. But what that does is it makes people, you're comfortable. So like now, whenever they think ceramic coating, I've done 3,000 something videos about ceramic coating, and they've heard my voice talk about it that many times. So now when they think, oh, ceramic coating, there's that guy on Facebook that did that. Let me see, what's his name? And then they find me. So, but quick tip, next section is what's new this month. There's always something new in your business. Could be I'm carrying a new product. Could be I'm offering a new service. Could be I don't know, whatever you got going on. I added this. I changed the price to that. We're now offering wiper blades. Whatever. Some idea you had, pretty much. So it's quick tip. What's new? Then I call it Andrew's Corner.
Honestly, I really quickly to interrupt. I feel like Andrew, like he always tell me, like, oh yeah, my customer called me, just talk. Andrew builds it off of, it's like a family. If you think it's his customers, like even on Facebook, when we always get tagged in the same post, like, oh, I'm looking for a car detailer, Andrew Excelsior, Urshop from Impact, whatever, and it'll always be the same old ladies that that post, Andrew's so great.
But it's because this is why. No, but honestly, this is why
it works. It works crazy. They're like you just said. It's you're paying sale. You're not even paying the salesmen that you hired. Like, no, it's incredible.
Yeah,
and thankfully, I'm starting to get that a lot too. Whereas people, vouching for you online and whatnot. But sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. So then the next section is Andrew's Corner. This is where you just spit out whatever you want to talk about. Could be like, hey, I got a new dog. Here's a picture of my dog, and I'm doing this car. Whatever you want. So like when I changed I painted my shop floors, Urjan helped me last year. I put it in the newsletter. I just wrote, oh, this is the before, this is the after. We're so thankful we can do this. I had 20 customers in January call me, hey, buddy, just saw the shop floors. Look great. Merry Christmas. Click. I'm like, but because you don't think, you're like, oh, who watches these emails? Yeah. So then, and the other thing I was worried about was how many people are going to get mad I'm emailing them. Because like that's a thought. You're like, oh, you get all these unsubscribes, right? And you're like, oh, like,
Yeah.
but here's the thing: I lose maybe 2 customers off that newsletter every month. I gain every single customer we work on. So the second we work on a car and hit complete, it adds them to the newsletter.
Oh
If
yeah,
they don't
yeah,
want
yeah.
to see it,
They
whatever. And I'm
gotta
not
subscribe,
offended.
which in Canada is the law.
Yeah.
We have to put the unsubscribe.
Yeah, but that's important though, because if someone
Yeah.
doesn't want to see your stuff, you obviously don't want to keep sending them things. So this is the thing: all education, right? You're going to do all this education. Once in a while, you're going to put a little sale in there. You're going to put a little, like a little grab, and I want you to buy this. I'm going to sell you strength coating, 20% off. It's in there, but they're happy to see it because you're giving them so much education.
Info, and they already know what you're talking about too. It's
On
like,
my email
oh, in the last
newsletter,
email. Yeah.
on my email newsletter is a 50, usually average 58% open rate. I have about 1,200 customers on that email newsletter.
Yeah.
So every month I'm seen by 600 people that have been to us before.
Pretty good.
It's free.
Yeah. Well, relative, you gotta. With yours, it might be. I know for me, I use MailerLite or something.
Okay. Well, even if you're
Yeah.
paying $20, you're going to really be thankful when you make a little thing that says, what's new? I offer ceramic coating, this 5-year or this self-healing or interior, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then you click this link to get a quote. And you have 3 people that have been to you already that are already sold or just are getting a new car and like, yeah, let's do it. Click. And then you get all that. You call them. Hey, I saw you did this, whatever. Yeah, I'm ready to book. Can I come tomorrow?
Yeah. I feel like the customers, when you actually do a good job and you take care of them. The biggest thing is taking. Like, I like to, after every detail, I talk to the customer for at least 10 minutes. I joke with Andrew all the time. You guys, some of those that are, you tell them 9:30, they show up at 8:45 in a rush.
But yeah.
That's an inside joke one.
But
it goes a long way because the next time they come, you talk about something new, or sometimes they'll tell you, oh, I'm going on vacation. The next time they come, oh, how was the vacation? Things like that. And it's like kind of what I was saying is Andrew told me, like, you kind of want to become friends with your customers. Now I'm not going to be texting all my customers every day, but it's more like it's a friendly thing, and they will remember that. So the next time they think about detailing, they're going to come to the guy who already set a good example, who already did a good job, who took care of whatever they asked for and more, or the guy who they're not too sure about.
Well, and the main thing that people get screwed up is you ask detailers, what kind of business are you in? They say, I detail cars. You're in a customer service business.
Yeah.
You're not in a detailing business. You don't make money from detailing. You make money from being in customer service and taking care of people and whatever. The last tip I'm going to give you in terms of free advertising, and we'll kind of go into quick paid ones because they're not as hard to go over, is videos. Do educational videos. You can do salesy videos too, but do education. The more time you can be in front of the camera, the better. People remember visual. They don't remember like a card. They'll throw the card away. Oh, I'm almost caught myself. They'll throw the card away. And they don't remember it, but they'll remember a video. They'll save the video. So like we're all over. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Google My Business, YouTube Shorts, YouTube Regular. We're everywhere. So we're literally chase people everywhere. And it's all free. Paid, super easy. Paid advertising is a great way to get in front of people. Slower time. I'm always doing paid advertising. It never stops. Is a main
Google and Facebook. Instagram, Facebook kind of posts to it, but I've never found Instagram that good.
So this is what I do for paid advertising as of right now when we record it. I'm doing Google ads all the time. They are always going to be a thing. We're targeting mostly ceramic coating and high ticket items that we want to sell. So if we're doing car mats, we might do some ads for car mats, seat covers, that type of thing. Facebook ads, I've never had luck with. You get a bunch of junk on, in my opinion.
Really?
You might have a different one.
It's always been good to me.
Never for me. So if one... Never. It's a headache. You talk to way too many people. I don't like them. Is there different ways to do it? 100%. If I had a dedicated salesperson, would I do it? I 100% would. Yeah. But for me to do 40 quotes and 99% of them are like, I have no idea you got my information. I
remember that one.
I don't have time for that. What I do on Facebook is I do retargeting ads. So if you go on my website and you go there, or if you call my business, it then sends your information to Facebook, and then it's going to keep showing my ads to you on Facebook and Instagram. So
I
it's
didn't
going
do
to.
that. What the heck?
Oh, there you go. You're learning.
Huh? I might as well just be a viewer.
Yeah. What the retargeting does versus the so Google is very direct because you have to search for what you're looking for. So it costs more.
Yeah, keywords. Yeah.
Yeah. Facebook is like a shotgun. You're just shooting and hopefully you hit something. Because that's what it is. You're
No,
just
for
it's
sure.
just displaying in front. With the retargeting, they've interacted with my business somehow. So they got into our website, they either called or whatever, and then now they're seeing ceramic coating ads. So they'll see videos of me in front of cars. They'll see we have a picture one that's like 4 reasons why you should get ceramic coating, and then it also has a little thing at the bottom that says request a quote. So then you'll click that button, you'll write in your information, and then we'll call you. But it's pretty much showing us their information or showing them our information for about 45 days after they interact with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Costs me about $2 a day.
It's pretty
cheap.
Pretty cheap. Yeah, I can't even consider that paid.
$60.
Spend that more on a coffee in the morning than I do put you in for that.
And what that does is it just keeps people interacting. Now, are they hard to track if they convert? Yes, because not everybody that's going to convert on them is going to click that request quote button. They're going to see it and it's going to keep harassing them pretty much on Facebook and Instagram for a while. And then they're going to call me. So let's say like if my return rate is, I don't know, let's say my cost per click it might say like $6 or something, which is still cheap. It's ridiculous. But my cost per conversion, let's say $6. It's probably less because the guy doesn't know that he's been subconsciously seeing your ads for literally 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then he took him that long to call me.
Yeah.
Do you have any other paid or unpaid that you think we missed?
Honestly, not really. Honestly, I think Google is the best one that I've ever tried. Facebook, I don't really go too far, but I do get some results. Instagram, like I said, I don't really mess around with that. If you do business suite advertising, like Facebook's Meta's thing, it kind of automatically it's so weird. If you do it on Instagram, your paid advertising, it doesn't show up on Facebook. But if you go the other way around, it shows up on Instagram. I'm like, what the heck? So when I found out, I was like, I'm wasting money because I'd pay on Instagram and I'd pay on Facebook. So I think Google, when you fully optimize it, is a great one. I guess paid. I don't know if you can consider it paid. Google SEO, like search engine optimization. It could be paid or it could be free. For me, it was free because I sat down for 3 months and all I did was research on what keywords are and what Google search engine optimization is. And thankfully, I've set that up. I think I'm always one under Andrew. Sometimes I'm above. It depends on what it is. Paid though, no, I don't think. Honestly, I think Google Ads and keeping it simple, because unless there's something new that comes out, I would just stick with whatever works. Google works 100%. Facebook is very dependent on who and what you are advertising. Instagram, like I said, whatever comes through Facebook, I don't really mess around with Instagram anymore. I barely even go on Instagram stories anymore. I think Facebook groups, it's older people, but also older people have money and they like to take care of things. The younger generation, and we're in the younger generation, a lot of us, we can look at our friends groups. Their cars are scratched up. Their cars are beat. Their clear coat's failing. Their interior looks like a shambles. You want people who are older, who's worked hard for their money, which I'm not saying young people don't, but they work hard for their money. They like to keep their things clean and taken care of and up to par. And it's like when I explain a ceramic to a customer who's older, doesn't know too much about it. Oh my God, I don't have to wax my car every 3 months, every 4 months. I'm like, no, not even. Like if you get a 5 years for 5 years, obviously there's maintenance and stuff, but I say, but that's why I don't know if you do this, but I include 1 free wash a year. And when I tell them that, I don't tell them before. I always tell them that after, when they're picking up their vehicle. And they look at me and they go, really? You do that? I'm like, well, you spent $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 with me. a 30-minute car wash to see how you're coating. And it's for me as well to see how the coating's doing. If I need to, reach out to the company, say, oh, well, it's not really beating here, after I do the decon and whatnot. It just keeps the customer in the loop, because then you can get them on the interior, you can get them on the glass, you can get them on even floor mat. I've had a customer, I ceramic coated his car 4 months ago. He calls me maybe 3 months later. He goes, you sell floor mats, right? I was like, yeah, I also added interior ceramic. He goes, oh, okay. He's like, I'll get the floor mats and I'll come back for the interior ceramic. I'm like, frick, no problem, dude. For me to click a button and order you some floor mats, making money off that, come by. I think we got it within 2 days, and texted him. I told him it would be a week, and then I got it in 2 days. He was super stoked. Picked him up. He's like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna get the interior ceramic. All he could talk about, because I was doing one in the shop when he picked it up, and I showed him with like the water behavior on the carpets, and he goes, bro, like, I'm gonna give you like money right now to deposit. I'm like, no, like, whenever you're ready, reach out to me. I'll send you a deposit form. Just fill it out, join, and you'll get it. He goes, okay, whatever. He texts me, shows me his floor mats. He's like, yeah, the floor mats will look so much better with the ceramic coat. So it's like, it's keeping people in the loop. I think the best way to think is, you kind of want to, like Andrew was saying, and what we said from the beginning is, a detailer, yeah, you can have the best chemicals, the best products, the most expensive tools, the most expensive products. Just because you have Coach Chemi doesn't mean you can't detail a car with chemical guys. Chemical guys works. Not to say that one is better than the other, but I'll let you decide. But I've known people who use half as many products, half as many tools, that make way more money than me, that better results sometimes, and it's a successful business. That's the whole operation, is we're trying to run a successful business.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is it's the best thing you can do is pick one system and stick to it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a whole other episode, and we'll end this soon. Is we know somebody that's close to us that every single month when something new comes out, you got to try this. It is the best thing I've ever used. It is going to be, you need it. You need it in your shop. You'll never, and then the next month goes by, something, you'll never believe what I just found.
And we get samples of the old product, and it turns out they never work. It doesn't beat the system we have. Like Andrew and I think over the last year, like, he'll tell me things, I'll tell him things. At one point I started using APC on Windows. He told me that stopped that really quickly. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Well, it was for a smoker's car, and nothing was getting it off, and I didn't want to use panel prep, so so the APC or wipe it down 600 times. But I forget what I was even saying now. The APC,
different products.
Yeah, different products.
Pretty much
it's the same thing. It's just like, when I used to start on details, I used to do either one time from the driver's side, one side from the passenger. Now I always go from the bottom, not the bottom right, the behind the passenger. So whatever that is, the back passenger side, always start from there. Blow it out, whatever I got to do, vacuum it up. I always start from there, just because if I'm doing the same revolution, I'm getting it all done here, then getting it all done here, here, and here, instead of going like this around the car. I used to do that all the time. And then I don't remember if it was Ivan or maybe Chicago Auto Pros. One of their videos was saying, record yourself detailing. Like, you'll notice, record yourself detailing. You'll notice how many stupid trips you take. And I'm like, wow. And like bucket systems, like detailing cart, probably the best investment. The best investment. I used to, when I first got my shop, I didn't really have all the racks and fancy stuff I got now. But the cart was the biggest. $100, everything's on it. I don't need to go looking for anything. And it's like, you really realize, like, okay, I spent $100 and I probably made thousands of dollars from not looking at and going to find that one brush that I needed or that one tool that I needed to get the job done. And now it's like, okay, an interior detail used to take me like 6 hours. Now it's like, knock it on an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on the condition. And it's like, dude, I never thought I'd make money like that.
Yeah.
And it's,
we pretty much we went over our topics. So we went over kind of who we were, hopefully related with that, and different things. Went over your able, that was a big part. Different systems, and how to get paid and free ways to get customers. We're going to go over all that way more in depth in different episodes. It's kind of just like a start. We're also going to improve a bunch of stuff. It's only episode 1. So we have a bunch of ideas. If you have any comments, comment them. We're going to post this on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. It's also going to be on our website as well. And then, so everywhere. So it's going to be pretty much everywhere. Suds to Success Podcast. What's the website?
.com.
What's
Suds to Success Podcast.com.
Okay, so it's Suds to Success everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and then sudssuccesspodcast.com. If you have any comments, put them on YouTube. We'll get those all set, but it's going to be everywhere. So we're all set. We will see you next week with our next topic. Hopefully it gets you some money. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. We will talk soon.